Well, it's Friday and nearly the end of the week, June the 5th, and this is Wise Words from Waldo. I love to travel. There are so many beautiful places that God has created for us. Mountains and waterfalls, babbling brooks and meadows of flowers. Getting away from the city lights and seeing a sky filled with stars is amazing. And to know that God breathed them. That the sun rises every day is not only shows what an awesome creator God he is, but it reminds us just how faithful he is. The river still flows. The stars still appear every night. One of the special places I've visited is Yellowstone National Park. Did you know that Old Faithful is the most visited site there? Did you know that it's not the largest geyser in Yellowstone? Not the highest, but it is the most visited. Why? Because it's dependable. Thus the name, Old Faithful. Mother Teresa said, "I am not called to be successful, but faithful." Vance Havner, one of my favorites, said, "God is faithful, and he expects his people to be faithful." After all, when you stand before God one day as one of his children, what you want to hear is, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." Annie Flint wrote a poem, "God hath not promised skies always blue, flower-strewn pathways all our lives through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, or peace without pain. But God has promised strength for the day, rest for the labor, light for the way, grace for the trials, help from above, unfailing sympathy, undying love." I don't know why we question God's faithfulness. Lamentations tells us, great is his faithfulness. It's kind of like standing on the top of a hill thinking, I sure hope I don't breathe up all the oxygen and the world runs out. Perhaps we doubt God's faithfulness because we know how unfaithful people can be. When I was a Boy Scout, I tried to get the Camping Under the Stars badge. My grandmother told me, when you see all those stars, remember that the God who made them is taking care of you. But just before bed, the counselor told us about bugs that might fall from the trees and burrow into our ears. I worried all night. Why? Because at that stage of my life, I hadn't experienced all of God's faithfulness or enough of it to overcome my fear. But even that didn't change how faithful God is. God is always faithful. How faithful are you? Now stop and think about that.